Sheila Jackson didn't expect that morning to change her life. A homeless black woman in her late 40s, she'd grown accustomed to the rhythm of survival on Atlanta's streets, scraping by unnoticed, her existence a quiet hum against the city's pulse. But when she saw a little boy sobbing alone on a park bench, her heart tugged her forward, unaware that his millionaire father was watching from a distance, his gaze about to alter her world forever. Sheila had been up since dawn, her routine unyielding. She rummaged through her worn backpack, counting the few dollars she'd collected from recycling cans. Her stomach growled, but she ignored it, used to the ache. The park was her temporary refuge, a place to rest before the day's hustle. That's when she heard the boy. His cries were soft but piercing, like a wounded bird. She hesitated, her instinct to help clashing with the caution she'd learned from years on the streets. People didn't always take kindly to her approaching them. Still, she couldn't walk away. "Hey, little man, you okay?" Sheila's voice was gentle, her southern drawl warm despite her fatigue. She stood a few feet from the bench, keeping her distance to avoid startling him. The boy, no older than 7, looked up, his brown eyes swollen with tears. His clothes were pristine, a navy jacket, pressed khakis, out of place in the gritty park. I can't find my dad," he stammered, wiping his nose with his sleeve. Sheila's heart sank. She knew what it was like to feel lost. "What's your name, sweetie?" "Ethan," he said, his voice trembling. "I was with my dad, but I ran ahead, and now, I don't know where he is." Sheila nodded, her mind racing. She didn't have a phone to call for help, and the park was quiet this early. "All right, Ethan, I'm Sheila. We're gonna find your dad, okay? You remember where you last saw him?" Ethan pointed toward a cluster of trees near the park's entrance. "Over there, I think. We were walking, and I saw a dog, and I ran to pet it." Sheila smiled, trying to keep him calm. "Sounds like you're a dog lover. I got a soft spot for him, too. Come on, let's walk that way and see if we spot him." Ethan hesitated, his eyes scanning her worn jacket and the backpack slung over her shoulder. Sheila caught the look. She was used to it, people sizing her up, assuming the worst. But Ethan's fear outweighed his doubt. He nodded and slid off the bench, staying close as they walked. As they moved, Sheila kept talking, her voice steady. "What's your dad look like? Tall, short? Got a hat or anything?" "He's tall," Ethan said, his voice steadier now. "He's got a blue coat and glasses. He was on his phone, talking about work." Sheila chuckled softly. "Sounds like a busy guy. Don't worry, we'll find him. You stick with me, all right?" Unbeknownst to Sheila, Ethan's father, Marcus Tate, was watching from a distance. A tech entrepreneur worth millions, Marcus had been distracted by a call when Ethan wandered off. He'd panicked when he realized his son was gone, his heart pounding as he scanned the park. Now, he stood near a coffee cart, his eyes locked on the scene unfolding. He saw the woman, her clothes tattered, her demeanor calm, and his first instinct was suspicion. But as he watched her comfort Ethan, his wariness softened. She wasn't just helping, she was connecting with his son in a way he hadn't seen before. Sheila and Ethan reached the trees, but no one was there. Ethan's lip quivered, and Sheila crouched to his level, ignoring the ache in her knees. "Hey, don't you start crying again. We're a team now, right? Teams don't give up." Ethan nodded, a small smile breaking through. "Right. You hungry?" Sheila asked, noticing his energy fading. She reached into her backpack and pulled out a granola bar, her only food for the day. "Here, take this. It's not much, but it'll keep you going." Ethan took it, his eyes wide. "You sure?" "Positive," Sheila said, her stomach protesting silently. "You need it more than me." Marcus, still watching, felt a pang in his chest. He'd seen plenty of people ignore the homeless, himself included. But this woman, who had nothing, was giving his son everything she had. He started walking toward them, his phone forgotten in his pocket. Sheila stood, scanning the park. "All right, Ethan, let's try the other side. Maybe your dad's looking for you too." Before they could move, a deep voice called out, "Ethan." Ethan's face lit up. "Dad." He ran toward Marcus, who scooped him up, relief washing over his face. Sheila stepped back, her role done. She was ready to slip away, unnoticed as always. But Marcus set Ethan down and approached her. "Ma'am, thank you," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "I saw what you did. You didn't have to help him, but you did." Sheila shrugged, uncomfortable with the attention. He was scared. Couldn't leave him like that. Marcus studied her, noting the exhaustion in her eyes, the weight of her backpack. "I'm Marcus Tate. What's your name?" "Sheila Jackson," she said, her tone guarded. "Sheila gave me her granola bar, Dad." Ethan piped up, holding up the wrapper. "She's nice." Marcus nodded, his mind working. "Sheila, do you have a place to stay?" The question caught her off guard. She stiffened, her pride kicking in. "I get by." Marcus didn't push. "I owe you more than I can say. Can I buy you a meal, at least? There's a diner nearby." Sheila hesitated. She wasn't used to kindness without strings. But Ethan's hopeful look softened her. "All right," she said finally. "Just a quick bite." At the diner, Sheila sat across from Marcus and Ethan, her hands wrapped around a coffee mug. Marcus asked gentle questions, drawing out bits of her story. Sheila shared sparingly. She'd grown up in Atlanta, worked as a nurse's aide until layoffs and bad luck spiraled into homelessness. She didn't mention the years of struggle, the shelters that turned her away, or the nights she'd gone hungry to keep her dignity. Marcus listened, his respect growing. He'd built a tech empire from nothing, but Sheila's resilience struck him as something rarer. "You're good with people," he said. "The way you calmed Ethan, it's a gift." Sheila shrugged. "Just doing what's right." Over the next hour, Marcus learned more. Sheila was sharp, her mind quick despite her circumstances. Ethan, meanwhile, chatted happily, telling Sheila about his dog, Max, and his favorite superhero. Sheila laughed, her guardedness easing. When the meal ended, Marcus handed Sheila his business card. "If you ever need anything, call me." "I mean it." Sheila took the card, skeptical but polite. "Thanks, but I'll be fine." Marcus watched her leave, her backpack slung over her shoulder. He couldn't shake the feeling that their paths would cross again. Days passed, and Sheila returned to her routine, collecting cans, dodging judgmental stares. But Marcus couldn't forget her. He'd seen countless people walk past Ethan that morning, yet Sheila, with nothing to her name, had stopped. He started asking around, learning about the city's homeless population, the gaps in support. His company, Tate Innovations, had resources, millions in revenue, a network of connections. He wondered if he could do something meaningful. A week later, Sheila was at the park again, sipping weak coffee from a shelter. A man approached, not Marcus, but someone in a crisp suit. "Sheila Jackson?" he asked. She nodded, wary. "Who's asking?" "I work for Marcus Tate," he said. "He'd like to meet with you. Can you come to his office downtown?" Sheila's first thought was to say no. She didn't trust handouts. But curiosity and Ethan's smile in her memory made her agree. At Tate Innovations, Sheila felt out of place in the sleek lobby. Marcus greeted her warmly, his suit a stark contrast to her worn clothes. "Thanks for coming," he said. "I've been thinking about what you did for Ethan. I want to offer you a job." Sheila blinked, stunned.
"A job?
"Doing what?" "We're starting a community outreach program," Marcus said. "Helping people like you, people who've been overlooked. You know what it's like out there. You could help us get it right." Sheila's mind spun. A job meant stability, a chance to rebuild. But doubt crept in. "I ain't got no degree or fancy skills." "You've got something better," Marcus said. "Empathy. Experience. People listen to you." Ethan did. Sheila considered it. The offer felt like a lifeline, but she'd been burned before. "Why me?" she asked. "You don't even know me." "I know enough," Marcus said. "You gave my son your last granola bar. That's who I want on my team." Sheila took a deep breath. "I'll think about it." Over the next week, Sheila wrestled with the decision. She'd survived on her own terms for years. A job meant relying on someone else, risking disappointment. But she couldn't stop thinking about Ethan's trust, Marcus's sincerity. She called the number on the card. "I'm in," she told Marcus. The job wasn't glamorous, coordinating with shelters, talking to people on the streets, helping design programs that actually worked. But Sheila thrived. Her insight shaped Tate Innovations' outreach, connecting with people others ignored. She trained staff, shared her story, and found purpose in helping others find their way. Marcus watched her progress, impressed but not surprised. He'd seen her potential that day in the park. He increased funding for the program, and Sheila's role grew. She moved into a small apartment, her first stable home in years. Ethan visited the office sometimes, always running to Sheila with a grin, telling her about school or Max. Word spread about the program's success. Local news covered it, praising Sheila's work without delving into her past. She didn't want the spotlight, but Marcus insisted she deserved credit. "You're changing lives," he told her. Sheila shook her head. "I'm just doing what I've always done, helping where I can." But her life had changed. She had a paycheck, a purpose, a community. She still carried her backpack, a reminder of where she'd been. And every time she saw Ethan smile, she knew that one small act of kindness had rewritten her story. Marcus never told her he'd been watching that day in the park. He didn't need to. His gratitude showed in every opportunity he gave her, every trust he placed in her hands. And Sheila, once invisible, became a force, proof that kindness, no matter how small, could ripple into something extraordinary.